Hello class, this is Mr. DeVoe-Peterson, and I'm in Canvas right now, and I want to look at week 2. I've given you kind of an update here and the announcements for what we're doing, and I've done kind of a screen scrape for you to see on Cengage MindTap, the activities. Now, the prerequisite virtual lab was for week 1. I extended it into week 2 because of some late ads. I did assign reading in week 1. I moved it into week 2 because you have a live virtual lab to go with it. So I put the reading with it again. I extended it for 2 weeks. And the week 2 assignment really begins with doing the virtual lab for chapters 1-1 and doing the reading for chapter 2 and the virtual lab for lab 2-1. So this is kind of an overview of what you have to do. And I usually post these at the very top for announcements. I'll put this recording in here under week 2. But what else do we have? Let's go to MindTap, and I'm in it right now, and you can see week 2, and you see the virtual lab. So what's in that? Hopefully you've looked at it. Most of you have completed that, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and start it. And there's some videos for how to do the Cengage MindTap lab in week 1. So I advise you to look at that. I'm going to open it up, and I'm on wireless right now. Probably not the best signal strength, but that's okay. I'm going to start over with this assignment. And some of you have started with these assignments and not finished, you can continue here if that's the case, if you hadn't finished. But I'm going to restart. Yes, delete the additional information that was with my initial attempt, and I basically go through this for my students, but this explains what you're going to do. It's just kind of getting started, learning how to do the labs, right? And you can see there's 1 of 4 pages here. This is starting up the practice lab server, AO1, and it shows you it's starting up here, and there it is. And this is walking you through some resources and seeing what's involved, what you're going to do next. So let's go here. It tells you to hit this next button. We're looking at the lab topology. These are the servers that you have access to. Only the PLAB A01 is started right now. You can click on these little arrows that tell you where they are. This is powered on. You have the green light. For lab 2, it's not powered on, but you may be asked to do that later on. And these are both standalone servers. You can see they're Windows 2016 servers. These are active servers over on the East Coast. That's where they are. This is just walking you through it. And it's showing you a little bit about these standalone servers, some of the network environment you're in. So go through this, read it, and this is a video for you to watch, all right? And it's walking through step 2, things that they want you to do. First, from the top of the control panel, let's see, did I step up here? Let's see. I want you to play. I want you to kind of look at the different information on this interface here, the content panel, the lab device right here, lab toolbar, navigation header. From the top panel, clip on the ellipses, and they show you the ellipses right up here, and they are right, let's see, I'm in the panel, so we're at this one right here. They're showing you the different ellipses, what you can do with it. So walk through this. That's what this is. And you'll complete this. Let me jump through this. They're showing you what the lights mean. It's really easy to do. Talking about personal settings. Are you no name lab? All pages success via the header and navigation, showing you some ways to customize it. You've got to do the test questions at the end of it. And it's showing you again how to use the interface and the controls. It's walking you through everything. More test questions, and at some point, sometimes it asks you to do a screen grab. More test questions, take a screenshot. So that's part of doing the lab, doing the test questions and doing the screenshot, and it walks you through this, how to do that, right? And I'm on 3 of 4. Let's go to 4 of 4. And this is a summary of what you've done. Now, you'll get full credit when you complete all this, right? You know, you have the feedback here. You have information about the lab you just completed. It's not really hard to do. So I'm going to go ahead and say completed. I'm going to go ahead and get out of this and close this out. That's the prereq lab. It's just showing you the interface and how to work around here. The next lab, I'm just going to jump through, then I'll back up and go to the readings, right? This is understanding digital forensics, the profession, the investigations. I'm opening a new lab. I'm starting it up. Now, be sure to give yourself enough time. Usually they tell you how much time to allocate for each of these labs. So you do need some uninterrupted time to work on this. So I'm going to go through it, checking servers. So jumping across to the UK, to the, across there. Restart. I'm not going to continue. Yes, delete the report. Now this is a little more involved, right? There's more servers you see. There's workstations, 3 of them this time. They could talk about connecting. There's two Linux workstations and a Windows 10 standalone workstation. Lab assignments, and I'm looking for a time here. I don't see it yet. I'm scanning this quickly. Notice that instead of 4 steps, there's 10 in this one. So you need to be prepared to spend a little time on this. The first one was kind of easy, showing you the interface, getting used to it. This is telling you you're going to use a computer forensics program to acquire some drive images. It's going to walk you through the steps here, right in this panel here for the content, and the content is over here on the right. I'm starting up a server. This is the Windows 10's box, starting up right, and there it is. Now it's live, Windows 10. Though you're not running perhaps Windows 10 on your computer, I tend not to do these updates when I see them. You're going to go through this, and it's going to tell you right-click on the program, which is, where is it? Right here. And then it tells you to run as administrator. Boom, there it is. So these steps on the left tell you what to do on the workstations that you start up on the right. As you go through this, you'll be doing more steps. What you're supposed to do is always on the instructions on the left, and you'll see you're going to work on the servers. These are live servers in the UK on the right-hand side. These are live boxes. I'm going to jump through quite a few steps and screenshot. So remember to do the screenshots. It's kind of critical that you do that. I'm going to go complete and get out of this because complete, because I want to jump to the next one, Lab 2.1 or 2-1, writing and testimonies for Chapter 2. So allows them what you're going to do. You're going to document your work in computer forensics. And there's a program, not Microsoft Word, there's a program designed to document forensics information that you gather and write your summary report and have all the information in one place. So this is a new version of computer forensics. I'm going to restart it. I'm going to delete the prior report. Again, I have a Windows 10 workstation, and I have 2 other boxes. And we have, let's see if I see the time involved here, a number of hands-on exercises to do. This is going to take some time. I'm not seeing the time, how long yet. I'm looking. I'm trying to find it. Using ProDiscover. So another computer forensics program that you're going to use, and you're going to generate reports after you do some forensics analysis of a system. Sometimes you do them on workstations, sometimes they're on flash drives. We got Windows 98 here. Let's see, Explore, another program, create a raw version. Okay, so you're writing an image, you're using a raw version. Some of this you read about in Chapter 2. Always better to read the book before you do these labs. But the labs are the hands-on assignments. And again, screenshot. You got to do the screenshots. It's just showing you the interface of the program. When we get to this place, when we open up Autopsy, we get into this and we're doing this analysis. This is showing you the steps on the left that you're going to do. I'm going to complete and get out of here because that is for you to finish and go through. So what do you do before you do the virtual hands-on labs? You do the reading. You go into let's look at Chapter 1. Let's walk through it. This is the book, and this is the table of contents. I don't know if I'm in Chapter 1. Let me go and see. I'm in Module 1. Okay, so I guess I am. So let's go and jump into here. There's a little reading. You see there's links. There's terms that are put with links to a more explanation. Many of these terms you see, like data recovery, focus on those because those are oftentimes answers to test questions. And we're talking about different types of evidence, right? So inculpatory, what is that? It helps if a suspect is guilty of a crime they are charged with. It's evidence that might indicate, well, they truly are guilty, right? It may be evidence that they did the bad deed. Exculpatory is just the opposite. Let me link on it. In a case a suspect is innocent of the crime, perhaps you couldn't prove they were there. There was documentation that they're at another location. So a little bit about forensics, about information, the investigation triad, a really important concept. Let me walk through this a little bit for Chapter 2. This get a little bit of detail and history of, that's where I started with an IBM compatible 8088 computer. Never had a Mac until now. Let's jump through here again. Case law. You're going to learn about law in this class, right? Resources for you. Self-check. Okay, you don't have to answer these questions. You can. It'll tell you how you did, but I don't capture this information. Public sector and private sector, there are different rules on how you conduct those types of investigation. And it's really important to understand that, to know about search and seizure, a real critical idea when we think about forensics and when you can search and what do you need and what are the Fourth Amendment rights that are involved in getting a warrant for search and seizure. So we're talking about public sector. The big concept of this chapter goes into that. Let me back here. Rules of evidence. Let's see. White collar crimes. Examples for you to look at. Professional contact. Real critical. You may have to testify if you're part of a forensics investigation. And chain of custody, another really important concept when it has to do with gathering evidence and bringing it back to the lab for analysis. So it's a route the evidence takes and is documented all along the way until it gets to its destination, to the lab. The 5 steps of investigation, critical. Form a hypothesis, identify objects that may contain evidence. That's looking around the scene itself, where it all took place. Collecting and extracting the evidence, that is the real challenge when it comes to computers and technology and cell phones and the like. Does the evidence support the original hypothesis? And then you end up with the report and maybe given a testimony. Overview of a computer crime. So this is giving you a scene and analysis. Many times there's a violation at a company rules and regulations. They talk about that and taking a systematic approach. I'm going to jump out of that. That's chapter 1, right? So it's just a basic understanding. And then chapter 2, you're writing the report. So this gives you some background. Before you do the virtual lab 2-1, it's good to jump into this. I'm in module 2. It's also, and I'll show you this after I get through this. So report specifics, and we probably have some more terms in here. Sample of a plan. What are we here? Guiding for writing guidelines. Yeah, you got to write in this kind of business. If you're going to do computer forensics, language matters. The structure of a report, and that's why it's critical to go through this chapter before you do the lab, right? Spelling, punctuation, that's kind of taken care of itself with all the new programs we're using. Elements of the report. I'm looking for something juicy I can point to. Then I want you to focus on building the resources. Who is the audience for the report? Let's see. Let's come down here. These ebooks give a lot of white space when you're going through this. So it's really easy designing and doing the layout. When you use a program to create the report, there's fact witnesses and expert witnesses. Expert witnesses have a lot of technology and credentials behind them and have done this before and usually get paid for testimony. I'm jumping, creating, maintaining. Let's see, digital forensics expert. Hold on. Preparing technical definitions. These are analysis techniques for doing algorithms and preparing and dealing with the media. Self-check. Yeah, it's really important to know what you can and can't say because it can harm the case and it can be used against you. So talking to the press is really not a good idea when you're involved in an investigation. You may get subpoenaed to show up. And paneled by a jury. When you start out in forensics, you are not going to be doing this stuff. You're going to do the basic analysis work. It's the experts that do the court testifying and things like that. Testimony, preserving, discovery, disposition. Yikes. It's good to know this. This is good background information, but don't let it frighten you. You will not be having to do this right away. Self-check is a good idea to do to make sure you got an idea. And then getting to the summary, these are the things the takeaways from chapter 2 and analyzing data, writing the first draft, revising it, kind of like writing a term paper in a way. So really important. So that's chapter 2. Look at it, read it, and then do the live virtual lab. And when I go to Canvas, right? The LMS for Fresno City College. This is just telling you to go to MindTap we're doing module 2 or chapter 2. Even though we had chapter 1 in week 1, I moved it into week 2 to get the late starters time to do it. This is a PowerPoint if you wish to go through that before you read the book, but it's important to do that. But most of your work, as you can see, is in Cengage MindTap, is right here. And if you wait till the weekend to start, which some of you, because of work and responsibilities and obligations, may have to do that, but be sure you allocate enough time. It may take 15 to 20 hours to get this work, because I extended week 1 into week 2. So it's critical that you get started in this. We see we got a lot of people that have finished up their good score, 92%. Lab 1, 18% submitted, good score. I've got a couple people that submitted and said in progress, hadn't finished. And if you're getting that, and I'm not going to use the name of the person that sent me the email, but because that wouldn't be fair. Let me go to the syllabus. I can't see in progress work. I can't see what you've done or figure out what you need to do to fix it. But in the syllabus, if you remember that, after you got registered and got into the system, there was some critical information I gave you right here. All right. So where can you get help? There's a toll-free number right here on page 5, and there's a support page. You can call them and find out why your lab shows in progress. If you've done, the sample test questions and done the screen scrapes, why does it show that? It's possible could be a hiccup in the system. So I encourage you to reach out to this number, and you can do the chat, Twitter, you can do live phone support, and you could go to a web page. There's many ways to do it. I can't get into that and see it. I can't drill into your progress in the lab, but you can go here too. So the syllabus is your friend. That'll get you there. So week 2, you got to do this work. When is it due? Just before midnight Sunday. When is that? That is, it looks like August 24th. So you have time. So that's what I have for now. I hope that helps. And I want to hear from you. If you're still having problems, send me emails. That does help. And do remember that in Canvas, gosh, if there was only one place I would have provided where you can post a question for everybody. Oh, look, it's right here. Class discussions, a place for your voices. This is where you're welcome to send me an email or stop by my office, but you can do a post right here, a discussion post. And I think there may be 1 or 2 in there already, and I've responded. So don't be afraid to use that. All right, bye for now, and let me hear